Bravo 7 whiskey with a video just for you. Oh my God. Hi and welcome. My name is Leif. My call sign is Sierra Bravo 7 whiskey. And I'm going to talk a little about free softwares, mainly two software, but there are free software you're going to need if you're going to do this guide, follow this guide. It's a guide for satellite tracking and how you can enable radio control into that software. I'm going to explain that a little bit more further on. But also, first I want to say sorry for any background noise and sometimes maybe not the best audio. I know I got a humming noise and background noise and I move a lot and so on. So sorry for that, and also sorry for sometimes having trouble to find correct words because well, my English is not the best all the time. With that said, let's move on. I'm going to talk about the free softwares, as I said earlier. This is not a guide how you install it. It's not a guide how you configure those softwares. It's only a guide how you can get cat control or radio control between the softwares, how you can use one software to get control into the other software, because the main program is a little bit different than most softwares for a ham radio. It hasn't got built-in cat control, but there is a way around it. Well, there are several ways, but this is quite easy way and also quite useful, I think, because the other software that we're going to use is quite good as well and has plenty of advantages that you can use. So as I said, it's not going to be a big guide about how you do this or that in the softwares. I'm going to show a little bit, of course, show around in the main program a little bit, but the main focus is going to be on having the cat software working through the main program. And with that said, of course, you need to have your radio up and running with you. You have to have your cat interface, some interface or something. If your radio doesn't have a built-in cat support and so on, you of course you have to do that, and you have to know which COM port that cat is using and so on. This is not going to be diving into COM ports and such in the system and how you put up your interface. You have to have done that before you start to follow this guide. Which programs is it that we are going to need? Well, there are several programs. First of all, let's see. We are going to need a software that is called Omnirig, if you doesn't have that already. Let's see here. So let's see, I will bring that up here and I will take that away. This is the page where you can download Omnirig if you don't have it already. It's dxatlas.com/download.asp, and you scroll down a little bit and you got Omnirig down the page here. And sorry also if I'm sometimes looking at that direction and not into you. That's because I have 3 monitors, and I also check the software that I'm recording in here. well, you got you need to download that software, and you can go to dxatlas.com/omnirig, and then press download up in this right corner, but you can also go directly to the download by /download.asp. The second program you need is the main program. It's called Orbitron, and you find this software at www.stuff.pl, and you find the downloads in this corner on the right side here. You have one site for USA and one for Germany, so depending on where you live, you're going to have a quite good speed. This program is not being developed any longer. Sorry, it has stopped being developed back in 2005, but don't bother don't bother with it that it's old. It's working really good. You see, the version is 3.71. It was back in 2005. It's for Windows 9 and up to Vista, but you don't be afraid. It works great in Windows 10. I got Windows 10. I'm running Windows 10 64 bits, and it works great. Sorry. It doesn't have a Mac support. It's no Mac version, at least what I as far as I have found it, but maybe you can run it on an emulator in the Mac. I guess that should work. I know it works with Wine in Linux. If you're running Linux, you can use this. But I don't know if the other software is working in Wine. So I'm not going to take much. That's for you to find out if it works on emulation in Mac or Linux and so on. This guide is for the Windows users, but I just wanted to tell you that it may be possible that you can have it up and running in other software as well. I don't know if Omnirig will be could be run in emulator and so on, but well, it's up to you to try if you have a Linux or Mac. This guide focus on Windows. So download this program and install it. I'm sure you know how to install a software, so we're leaving that without this guide, leaving it out, and we go to the next page. That's HDR. It's HDSDR, sorry, and that's both programs, or all three programs, are free programs, so just download it and doesn't have to throw up your wallet and pay lots of money. Those fellows who make this one, HDSDR, they don't even want your money. You can't even give them money. If you look in the frequent asked question, they are telling if I want to support you, can I? No, they don't take any money from anyone. You can't even get them, give them to them. So you have two versions here down on the page. It's a stable version. It's from March 2018, and you got a beta version. I haven't tried that one. From August 2018. This I don't think they are coming much more versions, maybe once a year, or maybe even not that much, because this is quite well developed program. It has been out for a while, so download those free. You start with you can start with whatever you like of them, of course, but you go to this one. So I will take away, sorry. So you go to Omnirig and download dxatlas.com/download.asp and scroll down and find Omnirig down the list. And now I scrolled. And when you're at this page, don't start to download everything you see here, because you're going to, this is like, Windows Shopping is, this site has lots of good stuff for ham radio. But go down and install the Omnirig, and you got ini files here for some radios. It's updated 2019, so both softwares are updated this year. So go down there and download, install. Then you go to this page, HDSDR.de, and download that software. And you go and download the main program, Orbitron, and that you find at www.stuff.pl. You have downloaded it, you have installed it, and it's time to start it up. And here we got Orbitron, and it may not look like this exactly when you start it. It doesn't matter. We are not going into the hardcore how you configure this. This is quite easy to configure and get how you want it, and so on. I'm just going to browse through the tabs of a little quick, because this settings, we start with the settings. Hopefully I can, no, I need to take up a new window capture here, because it doesn't show. So let's do like this. Here you see the setup. Here you got, I'm just going to browse it through. Not going to go into every detail. As I said earlier, this is not how you guide how you configure this program. It's how you configure it to work with your radio. But we go from here, you press it, you have, I use the NASA preset, but you can change it to like green if you want, a gray, or, but I like the NASA's like this. And here you have got the list where you can update the TLE files, that's the text files. That contains satellite information. There are lots of different satellites. I'm using the ham radio, the amateur, but I have made my own lists as well. Sometimes it's fun to check other satellites as well, and time syncing and so on. Here you got, well, this radio background here. Down here is how you want that to show up. I have turned off this. I used to have play sound on, and you get a little sound that plays when some satellite is coming close. But I have turned it off now for this guide, because it lots of satellites is bling bling all the time. Let's go down here and visualization, location, and you search for your city here, and you can put your grid and latitude, longitude, and so on, and what it should be called. You see up here HBG at the plus, that's my location. and here is information about the satellites, prediction, here also prediction, and here is where we're going to focus, because as I said, it hasn't got built-in cat support. So you can use either something called MyDDE. That's what we are going to use. MyDDE is a little bit software that you can program and control. You can make your own drivers with it. But if you're not that hardcore, I'm not. I found another way to use it. That's, well, you can make your own drivers, but I think it's too complicated. You see, Omnirig, no, you can't see when I fold up here. That's so it doesn't show the scroll list, but in the scroll list, you got alarm, you got my DDE and Spider Alpha, that's for controlling rotators, and Wisp DDE. We are going to use my DDE. And you see this at this corner, you have a little button. It's you press that one and it will start the DDE client. Let's see, let's bring that up as well so you can see it. I will fix that in a second or two, hopefully, at least. So here you go. This is how the window looked when you started. You see a receiving string. It started receiving from this program, so which sat name and what height and so on, and uplink and everything. It's getting all information from this program, the Orbitron, into my DDE client. So now we are quite done in this program. Now we are going to take that way. We are, first of all, must check Omnirig. Hopefully you have selected the correct radio. I got two radios. I'm going in this example to use the rig number 2. That's my IC746, and I got all the ports and baud rate and stuff configured in Omnirig. You don't need to have Omnirig open, but you check your settings so it all is okay. If you have two rigs, well, or one rig. If you have two rigs, select, choose the one you want to work with, or you can use both, but that is, I'm not going to explain that in this guide. Now you checked everything is up and running in Omnirig as well. Just press OK, and it closes. Now we are going to start HDSDR. And let's see, let me bring up that window. Lots of windows here now. No, but soon. Here we go. Here we are in HDSDR. First of all, you could, and I'd make that advice that you configure your sound card. And I don't like this when the pop-up windows doesn't show, but we do like this. Here we go. I have this my interface supports sound, so I got radio, and I can also, if I want to use TX, I can use audio out from my computer as well, but I'm not going to configure that now. But here you said you need to know which sound card. If you have like me, I got plenty of sound card and different microphones and so on. But locate the one that are to the radio and press mark it and press OK. I will do like this. Now you can hear. I have sound, but I have muted it now, so because I don't want to have that noise in the background all the time. So what's the next step? Well, it's only 2 steps. If everything goes as planned now, it's only 2 steps left. You press options, and oh no, this kind of sucks because of course it doesn't. Well, I need to do like this instead. We take that away and we take that away. So hopefully you can see it. Here we go. Press options, either click on it or press F7, and you go down to DDE to HDSDR. Press that one, and you see here you got several different DDE format. You got HDSRD, Ham Radio Deluxe, you got Orbitron, you got VX Tracks, SAT PC32, and you got Wisp and Rotator. Sync Tune is tune, or there are different types here, but I use tune. You can record all satellite passes that will make this software record automatically if you hear the satellites and so on. I don't use that because where I live there are plenty of satellites passing, and not everyone has a beacon or so. You see here, status connection failed, but press manual connect, status connection OK, and then you press OK. Now we got connection between the software HDSDR and Orbitron. That's great, but at least we got connection to the DDE, or my DDE, but there are still one more thing to do. We need to press option again, and then we go to Cat2 radio, Omnirig. Then you want to check this the radio, which one you want to use. If you got 2 radios like me, I got sync radio to number 2, sync to Omnirig, and sync from Omnirig, sync tune frequency, and sync modulation. You can play around with this, and you can also, if you want, bring up the Omnirig settings from here, just if you were unsure if is it up and running or not. Let's see, I move that away, and now we are in the software, and let's see if I press that one. It now is up and running, and it will sync that. It will sync the frequency with that. If it doesn't do that for you, just do like this again. Press option and go to the cat and turn off the cat, and go back, and you can put it on again. That will sometimes solve, if it doesn't sync directly, that will solve the problem. At least it does for me. So now it's synchronized, and that's how it works. And you can so What is it doing now? Yeah, well, this program is communicating by this little DD client into Orbitron, and it will follow the frequency. I will do like this. We have a I don't know if it's going to be a beacon or not, but you can see here how this follows the frequencies now. So and well, that's how it works. So it's following now. I think it's the reactor that is following now, and if it had been a beacon on it, let's see if we can see this one. Now it changed. Let's do like this. No, I don't think it's going to work, but you can see. Hopefully, this camera is not that good. Sometimes it fails, but hopefully it did not die for me here now. No. Let's see if you can see something here. At least I have two cameras, as you may understand. You see, it's following the frequency. It's a doubler effect and so on. Of course, that's what it's correcting now. So as closer this Alpha Lima, Foxtrot Alpha Radio Alpha Bravo India stroke 2 is coming closer. It corrects the Doppler effect and so on. And well, that's how it works. Not that oh, now the camera died. I don't know. I think it's so this is how it works. And you see, not that hard to put it up. I will run it through a little bit quick. Again, I will just turn down the volume here. So, and oh, I'm popular. I got a message. Oh, hooray! First of all, you installed all the softwares. I will. You go first of all. You download the Omnirig, dxatlas.com/Omnirig or dxatlas.com/download, and scroll down and download Omnirig, and then you go and download the Orbitron, and that you do by going to www.stuff.pl, download and install, and then you go to www.HDSDR.de and download that software, and then install that, configure Omnirig, and of course, as I said earlier, you need to have your cat interface up and running. But here you go. So configure Omnirig, and see, so that works. Check which which radio you want to use if you have several, and when you're done with the configure of the Omnirig, you start Orbitron and you go to this page. Well, you can configure it first with all the settings, so you can feel at home in the software, so it looks nice for you. And you go to rotor/radio, choose driver my DDE and press this button and start it. Then you start the SDR software, HDSDR. Go to options and DDE to HDSDR and select Orbitron. Press manual connect, and when you get status connection OK, you press OK. Then you go into this setting again and go to cat to Omnirig. Select the rig you want to sync and choose sync to Omnirig and sync from Omnirig, and then you are up and running. Knock on wood. So that's what I wanted to show, because there are well, the WISP, some use WISP DD, but it has a limited selection of radios that it support. My DD is not developed any longer. I don't think WISP DD is developed any longer either. So this is a workaround if you have a new radio that is not supported by WISP DD. WISP DD do support my IC746, but I like to use Omnirig because it's easy to change in SDR than which radio I want to use. If I want to use my home radio or my remote radio, that is a IC7100 in the northern part of Sweden. So that's how it works. I hope you find this guide helpful or interesting. If you do so, why don't you give a thumb up, comment, and please do subscribe, because you know how YouTube works. If you don't have subscribers, you're nothing. You are nothing. Nothing I say. And here, let's see here. I don't think this satellite. I have also. You see here, down here. I will take this before I quit. No. Here, down here, you have alarm. You turn those on settings here in configuration, and show notice, and I will put the sound on again because. And this software Orbitron has lots of language. So if you're not, if English is not main language and you have hard time reading English, there are plenty of. There we go. The alarm of Alpha Oscar Sierra is coming in, and here you see you're going to have lots of radio, lots of alarms. So that's why I sometimes turn it off, because it's plenty of alarms coming on. And this, I don't have all the satellites in this list activated either. But well, I said it has plenty of language. You got here, you can see here. So you can manage this software without being if you're not able to read English that good. So just go down to this setup and miscellaneous and select your language, or some language that you understand better than English. So that's what all. I say thank you for watching again, and you hear now it's I can hear this satellite is going out and now. Well, so thumbs up, comment, subscribe. Bye bye.